Hi everyone! Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here today. My name is Ethne Su. I recently graduated with an MBA from the Yale School of Management, and since then I've been getting a lot of questions like, why did you do an MBA? How much did it cost? Is it worth it? So today I just wanted to make a video to answer some of those questions and hopefully help some of you who are considering whether to do a business degree or is probably already in the application process. Good for you. I want to cover 4 main areas: the pros and cons, return on investment, the ROI, and lastly, some of my personal reflections on the degree I just did. So let's get started. Let's start with the pros first. Let's start with the bright side. There are many benefits that an MBA degree can give you, and sometimes it's highly personal. It depends on what you want, right? So I want to divide it into, 4 main categories that I thought was helpful when it came to evaluating the degree for me. First is the prestige and network, prestige. And second is career opportunities. Third is personal development, personal growth. And lastly is the unique Yale experience. So for the networking, so-called prestige aspect of the MBA, I'm not gonna lie, it does open doors for you. I think like many other top MBA schools in the US, by being in the program, by becoming a part of the community, you do get a lot more access to more people from different industries, whether they are alumni or other professional connections from professors or colleagues or classmates. So if you are someone who's interested in gaining a wider range of connections, this does happen. So second, for career opportunities, many MBA students do come in with the intention to either transition into a different career track or to advance in their original career track. And I think both would benefit greatly from this degree. If you're transitioning into a different area, some of the common industries at Yale include consulting, banking, entrepreneurship, etc. Many of those industries have either on-campus recruiters, or they would come on campus on selected days where you can talk to the recruiters through a lunch and learn or activities like that. And the school also organizes career tracks where you would go off to New York or even go off to California and visit companies of interest. You get the opportunity to have a direct dialogue with people that work in the firm, with the recruiters. So it does help you if that's what you're looking for. Thirdly, for personal development, I think it provides great opportunities for you to develop confidence, leadership skills, communication skills, you name it. Again, depending on what you're looking for. Because most of the MBA students at Yale have around 5 years of work experience. So people are coming in here with the intention to hopefully step up in their career ladder, to hopefully become a better leader, become a better manager from their previous roles. So for me personally, the various clubs that the school offers and some of the classes really helped me. One of the clubs is Women in Management. I think that club itself, combined with some of our classes that explore topics in the workforce, topics in the existing leaderships in our economy, I think they really helped me to evaluate the situation I was in before and how I want to become a leader based on the current situation that I'm in. And you also get to meet many like-minded people, so I think it's a great environment for you to grow in that aspect. And lastly, the unique Yale culture. The Yale School of Management is centered around the philosophy of business and society. This is very helpful because it's very much integrated throughout all of our classes and all of our clubs. We're not just learning about the economy, we're not just learning about how the executive decisions are impacting on the economic world. We're also learning how those decisions impact people from various sectors within the society, from different countries, from different socioeconomic backgrounds, different cultural backgrounds. And I think that is absolutely super important for good leadership development for the future. So that was the pros. Now let's jump to the cons. By cons, I don't mean that anything bad is going to happen to you if you attend an MBA. I want to dive into 3 different categories. First is the financial cost. Second is the opportunity cost by being out of the society for 2 years. Well, not out of society, but out of the job market. And thirdly is the recruitment realities that we're facing in this current economy. So first, let's look at the financial cost of attending an MBA. This is a table from the Yale School of Management website that shows the cost of attendance coming to a total single student annual budget of $119,000 per year. So if you're attending a 2 years MBA program, the total cost would come down to around $240,000 for your 2 years program. This is not a small number. If you do not have family support, company sponsorship, or perhaps a scholarship from a school or from other types of private or public agencies, then you might find yourself in the position where you either have to spend a lot of savings or you have to find yourself in debt in which you have to return for probably several years after you graduate. So that's something that people have to consider seriously and plan your financial budget ahead of time. And second, let's talk about the career opportunity cost by being out of the job market for 2 years. Let's say you are already working at a job you love, working at a company you love, and you're on a career track to become a manager or to advance in your career. By stepping out of the workforce and going back to school, you may or may not have the same opportunity back after you graduate. So this is something people have to consider if you are already in an industry that you're very passionate about or already have a job opportunity that is very competitive and might not be there once you graduate. And lastly is the recruitment realities that we're facing. I'm going to pull out some news articles, but you get the idea. MBAs are no longer a golden ticket, or I don't know if it ever was, but we've been flooded with news about how like Harvard MBAs can find jobs, and it's somewhat true. If we look at the recruitment data from the Yale School of Management from 2023 to 2024, we are looking at a close to 10% base salary drop from the previous year, and that is a direct reflection of the current economy. So that is something that people have to consider. Not every student gets their dream job right after graduation. Not every student gets a job right after graduation. So it is a competitive market that you are entering yourself into again after a competitive degree. So that is something that you must consider in conjunction with your financial situations. So those were the major cons. I just wanted to be very transparent about the situations we're facing as MBA students, as graduates, because I believe transparency helps you make the better decision. And second to last, let's get into return on investment, the ROI, which I think is quite important. Again, I want to divide it into 3 parts. First is financial ROI, second is career ROI, and lastly, personal ROI. First, for the financial ROI, let's look at a graph again. This is a salary data by industry, again published on the Yale School of Management website. This is the salary data, I believe, from last year, my class year, 2024, and it shows you the median base salary as well as 25th and 75th percentile for some of the bigger industries in which students get into. So when you're evaluating your financial ROI, it's important to line that up with the industries that you're interested in going into because the number can vary a little bit, as you can see on this table. And this following graph shows the different number of students that go into these different industry sectors. And again, you can see that consulting services is the major, the bulk of it, consulting plus finance investment banking and finance investment management make up to over half of the student body. Again, on the same website, you can see that around 85% of the students received an offer by 3 months post-graduation. That means 15% of the students either chose not to go into the workforce or were still recruiting after 3 months post-graduation. And this number has dropped significantly, which means it's bad. It means it used to be much higher. So this is something we have to consider. And median salary in my class year was $160K. Again, this number has dropped, I believe, from 2023. By saying these numbers have dropped, I'm not saying this is a reflection of the Yale School of Management. I believe these numbers have been dropping across all business schools in the US, and it's very much a reflection of the economy. So if you remember this graph that we just looked at a few minutes ago, this is the cost estimate. Put this cost information as well as the potential earning graph together, you can pretty much figure out a very rough return on investment depending on the industry that you're trying to get into. Again, this cost can be different according to different students because people have different lifestyles. Some people live with partners, some people might have families. So you definitely have to adjust your Excel table based on these factors as well. And again, the return on investment is highly personal. Some people are okay with going into debt and paying it back for the following years, and some others are looking for an immediate return. All those there's no wrong answers, it just depends on your personal circumstances. And as you can also see in the graph, there is high earning potentials in some industries like consulting and finance. So there is the possibility for a high return on investment if you choose to work really hard and go into one of those targeted industries. And second, I want to touch on career ROI. By career ROI, it's less quantifiable, and by that I mean like perhaps you are looking to enter an industry that you previously didn't have the ways to do so, and perhaps you are looking to switch into a more passionate career path, into something that you can see yourself doing for the long run, and perhaps it might not bring a large financial reward for you at the start, but you are aiming for a long-term career goal. And that could be helpful for you because an MBA opens doors to a wide range of different industries in its managerial path. So I think that could be a big factor for some people to consider doing an MBA. And lastly, personal ROI, again, even less quantifiable. By this, I mean you get to meet like-minded friends. Perhaps you get to live in a country or city that you've been wanting to go to but didn't have a reason to move there. Perhaps you meet your special person, meet a partner at school. These are all things that have happened, that I've seen happening to people, my classmates. So these are all great rewards that I think people get from being in this program. And lastly, I just want to wrap up with my personal reflection on my journey. I'm in a more unique situation. I did a Master's of Architecture combined with an MBA, coming from a more creative background. And for me, it was totally worth it because of the friends I made, the networks, and the career exposures I got. But I think for you watching this video, you really need to ask yourself, what am I trying to get out of this program? And can I get these things from other avenues? Can I attend online classes? Can I find a different job? Can I find a career mentor? And if all those other avenues come to an end, or if all those other avenues are not immediately accessible and you think an MBA is your ultimate correct path, then I would encourage you to do it because I had a great time and I hope you do too. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any questions, feel free to comment in my comment section. If you like my videos, I normally talk about architecture, real estate, but I also talk about my early career path, moving to New York City. If you're interested in these contents, please subscribe, and thank you so much for being here today. Bye!